Hello, this is Rev Lorena, the old sage from Celestial Time, and I've got a thought for the day. The thought is about planning a lifetime. Now, I remember a past life or a life between life session I had where I was waiting for approval in this large cathedral type place, and I got my approval and I jumped off onto a platform, train track into the lifetime, and that tracks so much with much of what has been talked about lately. Lately, the subject has just blossomed. But in this lifetime, I've counseled a lot of people, and I've also seen some of the most horrendous lifetimes, addiction and all kinds of things. But yet, planning a lifetime, would you plan a lifetime in Iraq right now? If you were just a person, why do people choose such horrendous lifetimes? And the idea of karma doesn't get me that well. Yeah, we have appointments with different people to do different things, but unless you're so lost in the idea that you're terrible between lifetimes, and I don't believe that's true, because when we get on the other side, most of the time we are surrounded by love. So why would you just choose a lifetime so horrible so often? Or there's so many really rough lifetimes, times in war and all this other stuff. Anyway, I had this thought: suppose you would choose a really difficult lifetime, and Tibetans call it a difficult rebirth, too difficult to rebirth. Why would you choose that? Maybe it's so that you remember not to want to come back here again. I've known for years that this getting on this wheel of karma, this wheel of dharma going round and round and round, is kind of a trap. It's not all that it's cracked up to be, that's for sure. And I do mediumship with people, so I talk to people that are passed over, and a lot of people seem to be recreating a life over there like they are over here. Why are you doing that? Well, maybe there is this wheel, and the idea is to realize, not just in this side, but on the other side, you're on this wheel, and you want to get off, and you're so attached and attracted to the physical world and the physical stuff that you just keep coming back and trying to do it every time. And if you have such a huge, terrible lifetime, maybe you wouldn't do that anymore. Maybe you would stop doing that. I don't know, but it's a thought for the day. What do you think? I'm celestialtime.com. You can get a hold of me through that, or you can give me some comments on here. Let me know what you think, okay? Anyway, talk to you later. Have a great day. Bye-bye. Hi, everybody. It's Rev Lorena here from the Celestial Time, and I want to do a follow-up on what I was talking about. I thought that the soul might choose a very difficult lifetime so they could remember they didn't want to come back here after the lifetime. And so I got a brainstorm. I said, I think I'll ask the computer. I'll ask Sheldon, which I call ChatGPT. I call him Sheldon. Anyway, here's what Sheldon wrote, and I think this is profound. I think that it is entirely possible within the soul choice framework, a soul might choose a difficult lifetime, not as punishment, but as an intensive course, one meant to exhaust certain attachments, complete unfinished patterns, produce a deep embodied understanding of what the physical world can and cannot provide. I think that is perfect, And yes, physical existence can be considered addictive. It often offers sensations, desires, relationships, drama, intensity, achievement, sex, food, beauty, power, and the constant possibility of one more try. Even suffering can bind us here, and through anger, regret, guilt, or the need to correct what happened. We may return not only because we love life, but because we remain emotionally entangled in it. Perhaps the point of a very hard lifetime is not to make the soul hate physical existence. Hatred would still be attachment, and that's absolutely true. The deep goal might be to experience enough that the soul might finally say enough. Isn't that perfect? That's perfect.